Welcome to my cake kitchen. It's Saturday, and if you're here, I am Gladys. Over here we make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. We're back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make simple American buttercream using butter and of course some icy cream. I said icy. Using butter and some icing sugar. Most importantly, there are some additional ingredients that you can skip that makes no difference at all to what we are doing. But of course, it is advisable you use them because they enhance taste, flavor, and texture of your American buttercream. So over here, I have some vanilla, which is an additional ingredient to enhance flavoring, as well as some fresh double cream. It's cold. I'm going to have to warm it up a little bit. I will talk you through everything from start to finish, what you need to do to get great results, because as a beginner, you'll find buttercream will become your very helpful advancement to enhancing the taste and outcomes of your cupcakes. It's been a very busy day baking here in this kitchen, and if you've just shown up in the chat, don't forget to like, subscribe to the video. We just hit 10K. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support over here. With so much gratitude in my heart. It is such a milestone, and I promise I'm going to try my best and bring you all the value that this channel has for you. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm equally overwhelmed by the intention of it. But for our American buttercream, let's get to it. There is 750 grams of butter here, a kilo of icing sugar, 100 mils of fresh double cream, and some vanilla, which I'll be pouring with a lot of love. For convenience, I'm going to be deriving this buttercream using a stand mixer. For the amount here, a hand mixer may just not be helpful. It will be a lot to work through, but you can split the quantity into half, and the use of a hand mixer should be very helpful. If you don't know what a hand mixer is, let me just help you by bringing it to view. Because when you're starting your baking journey, a hand mixer will be the most helpful thing you will need to get you through your baking days. And there we are. So we have Dawn, we have Seasons. People, you know what? I am trying to get a structured video today, just so that we can clip it and provide you a ton of value, especially for those who can't rewatch the tutorials or can't join the live sessions. So here are a few adjustments we'll make. I am making a complete consideration. This is for my people, like all of you, like Steph, Lollipop, Tapeta, Dawn, Auntie J, and all of you. I am making a consideration, like it's a deliberate consideration, and I hope you will help me out. We'll have to structure the video where if it's a tutorial video, I'm going to get through the tutorial and then we can chat. So if you have questions, you can leave them in the chat, just so that I can allocate time to look at them and answer them in detail if necessary. Otherwise, the rest of the chat can be you guys chatting amongst yourself, which is completely fine for me. And then what I'm also trying to do, based on the conversation we had yesterday, I listened, people, I heard you. What I'm also doing, that's part of trying to derive some value for you, so that I can clip the videos in a way where it can end up in long form, so that you have the information that is structured for you to look back on. And especially if you don't fancy watching it on playback, which can be long and out of context for you if you are not in the chat. Also, the other thing is I'm trying to think about how we can incorporate maybe the live sessions. Will, instead of the 3 days being all like let's go and come, I'll try and see if I can create a day of the lives. I can't promise you we'll be adding another day. What we might do is structure the 3 days so that one day is a chatty video where I'll come back, catch up on everything. And that will be a chance for a Q&A where I get to give you tips on every and anything you would like, especially for some of you who are also starting your YouTube careers, like Steph and Dolly and everyone else who just wants to start a YouTube. I can hand you some tips. Truthfully, I am no expert, but it will also be informative for a lot of you who want to start your YouTube careers and don't know where to start or are having struggles. look, we're building community, and I'm here to provide all that value, because I realize that there is a lot I can give you. Besides the fact that I get overwhelmed and can't do it all, there's also an opportunity for us here to grow, where you are getting more value, and I make sure I bring you every and any aspect of the information based on my experience. And there is a likelihood, just with a pinch of salt, there's a likelihood we're bringing membership back. And the membership this time, I'm very clear on what it is. If it's not for you, if you are you just want to enjoy the fun content, because I'm not going to lose the fun content here just to keep it on a membership. That's not going to happen. You are going to continuously have the raw moments of me being here, but the membership are going to be structured in a way where, if you are aiming to grow your business, build up, and the struggles of pricing, I told you, the reason why I've kept mute on those videos are because I simply didn't feel like I wanted to create the videos that were already there for the sake of, because that is not exciting for me, and that will be no value to you. But if I structure them in a way where it's valuable, where we are going in and pricing the cost of ingredients and everything, which is actually a very difficult thing to do when you're a beginner, then of course you can sign on to the membership, and then we get all that done. So not only are you having fun here, but you are also building up on your career, and much of the hard admin tasks are completed for you. So if you have no interest in making your cake or hobby a business, or there is no need for you to kind of grow in that arena, don't even bother about the membership. Honestly, just stay here with us. We will continue to have fun, and much of it will still remain the same, but the membership is exclusively, because I also realize that there may be people who want to pay for certain services but cannot afford it. But for a standard price of the membership, which at this point I'm just thinking about $3.99, because I'm not going to tier it, you have the membership to pay for, join in, and we will be doing the work for you. So you're getting your cost of ingredient breakdowns, what you have to consider in terms of pricing, the tips that will help you enhance and grow your business. I'm bringing all of that back, people. I'm bringing all of that back. But I don't want to kind of go down the rabbit hole on that one. Let's stick with the subject of buttercream for now, okay? Buttercream, American buttercream. You've seen me make it here time and again. We're going to get that done, and I'll get back in the chat in a bit. If there's anything happening there, keep yourselves company, look after each other, hug each other virtually, and thank you for being here, and thank you for 10K. All right, people, now let's go and make American buttercream. Whew, that's a lot. And before we get into it, I know today I feel like I'm dressed properly. Look at me and look at my back. It's exciting. It is exciting. Look at me. We are all kind of happy here today, aren't we? Look. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. I am so excited. Let's have a look. What's happened to Dawn? Look, I did say I will answer the chat, but I just want to see what's happened to my lovely Dawn. Oh, people, you don't need to apologize, my love. The lives are just live. Look, I have spent the day in the kitchen baking the perfect cupcakes. I am creating I don't want to kind of ruin it. Let me just get to it, because it's exciting to develop the idea and then film it. It's another thing to sit through editing, okay? So let me not ruin it for you, but today my morning or my afternoon has been busy. This is what, look at how perfect these cupcakes are. I have all the tips. It's coming up, but right now, let me not ruin it for you. So people, don't worry. People has physics. Dolly. People, is that, no, honey. I told you we will have merch, but you know what? Your girl is not rushing. I just wanted to be able to brand the channel, and they are subtle things. That's why the membership are coming back. I'll be handing you all the simple things I do. So it's not merch yet, okay? It's not, it's just an apron, because The one I had wasn't customized. And I kind of feel like after doing this and hitting 10K, we have to customize what we're wearing. So look, yeah, all right? So that when you walk in, you know we live here, okay? That's just by the way. Dolly, welcome to the chat. Now let's go and make these buttercream, okay? And they're here to say, for American buttercream, we have had the conversation. We've had a conversation about the consistency of your butter. I have that listed on the channel for you to help yourself. So go have a look, but you want to make sure your butter is soft and spreadable. So because thanks to the weather today, was it a good idea to bring the mixer out? No. Look at that, spreadable. Just make sure your butter is spreadable, okay? You will thank me later. You know what? If you forget, put it in the microwave, but leave it on defrost at, let's say, 10 to 20-second interval and watch it come together. All right? That's all I'm gonna say. There you go. Now we are going to just whip the butter alone. On this occasion, I just used unsalted butter. So we are going to be adding salt to our butter when it's creaming. But we're going to do this for close to 10 minutes. Okay? So let's have a look at the timestamp. It's, what, 5:36. Let's put this together. Okay? 5 minutes. Let's go. Now, the creaming starts from about 3.5, which is medium high, to about 4. Yeah. And because the butter is very soft, look at what it looks like in there. It is creaming very quickly for us. Leave it there. Leave it on the staircase.
I need it.
What's that? Okay, bring it. What do you want to do?
To make it real.
What?
To make it real now.
Okay. What is that?
It's just chocolate chip porridge.
It's beefy here.
Yeah, right, make it ready. Are there any of those steak cakes left? Ones from earlier? Just that one.
Dawn is asking if I got feedback about it. Not yet. But you know what I did? I gave some to my post woman who delivered my aprons and stuff. And they love it. They love it. And how many days in? I had some spare. The last has gone. They remain moist, just like regular cupcakes. I'm kind of shocked by the result of them. Those egg-free cupcakes, I am surprised by the outcome, but I haven't heard from the client. Okay, after 4 minutes of continuous whipping, this is what we have. Let's go and have a look at what you want to see. Now, the butter is paling from the yellow block to something this pale. Okay, look at the consistency. We are not done yet. We want to continue to cream that. So we'll keep that in. We are scraping the bowl together so that every part of the batter will get in the bowl, and then we're going to cream that again. The butter is not going to break, nothing will happen to it. You want to cream it enough that it pales out. What happens is that by doing that, you introduce air and it expands the batter, changes the consistency, which makes it better to receive the icing sugar, and then it will form a good mix of buttercream for you. That's the simplified intention behind all the creaming. Now, if you have a question where you're like, well, if it's nothing is going to happen to it, why can't I cream it until I've had enough of it? Well, over creaming it is likely to break the structure of the batter, which will then affect your outcomes for the buttercream. So you want to get somewhere where the butter is expanded enough, the consistency and color has changed enough, but it still maintains its structure so that you can add the icing cream into it. Yeah, I know there is some butter here. Is it? Can you see? Let's see. Okay, let's go and cream that, and now maybe I'll wipe my face. Dolly is saying, I always chase people for reviews. Dolly, you will get to a point, I kid you not, you will get to a point where you will have enough. I've done this for 7 years. If you look at my Google reviews, I don't bother anymore. There are some that I will chase though. There are some I really would want to know. That is just for my own reassurance. But if I don't hear back, it's okay. All right? So it's neither here nor there. It's a preference-based thing. But when you've done it so long, believe me, you have too much on your hands. You appreciate that they have ordered and you wish they come back. You wish. But if I'm paying 600 pounds for a cupcake, as in for 130 cupcakes, 620 something for 130 cupcakes, if they are not good, I'm coming back to tell you. So the fact that they haven't come back is probably a good sign. Yeah. You know what? It is polite. I get the intention around it. It is extremely polite, but in a business, sometimes you just think it's preference. People, the customers feel like they don't owe you anything. Okay, they paid for a service, you delivered the service. It's great. Like I have received some feedback that is still sitting in my emails that I will look and I cry. The boxes, for instance, the Valentine boxes, the review prawn cocktail left me. I haven't been able to look at it like, because I'm my own worst enemy, okay? If you see what I'm saying. So it would be great if all customers came back, but realistically they don't. But believe you me, here's the thing: no word is a good sign. Because believe me, if they didn't have a great experience, they will be quick on that email to you. So we'll see. They collected the cupcakes on Tuesday. It's Friday. They said the cupcakes were going to be eaten on Tuesday at 4 p.m. And it's Friday, nearly 6 p.m. We haven't heard from them, so fingers crossed. But let's make it till Monday. And if we haven't heard from them, we can do a little happy dance and that will be it. Let's go and cream that. Dawn is asking, you got a bad no. I mean, the review was like, her response was so good and so gushing. Like, it's just like, yeah, no, I'm not. It was a great review. Okay, that's all. And Faso has given hers as well a lollipop. Like, the feedback is amazing. It's beyond what my expectation is, because at the end of the day, food is subjective. I've told you that. Like, I don't sit here and believe like my taste preference is the end all be all. I leave room for other people's preferences too. So for all the feedback to be universally beyond the expectation, at best I just wanted it to be, okay, it's good, we hear you eat cake, it's fine, okay? But thingy, prawn cocktails, the thing with prawn cocktail is she didn't just order for herself, she ordered for other members of her family, her grandma and other people. So she picked a couple of the boxes, and the feedback between all of them was like, my brain is like, okay, I can't handle this. So it was really good. That's all. That's what I mean. Okay, another 3 to 4 minutes in, and I think we've got our batter consistency right. There you go. Oh, that is easy. Did I tell you? If I ever was to launch anything, it would be spatulas, because my goodness, I still can't find some like spatulas that work for me at all. I still haven't managed to find, because I am very particular. I have seen some tall ones like this, but they are very stiff. I still want some flexibility to a spatula, like, and then I still want the edge to be fine so I can scrape into my bowl. I haven't found any yet. There are some good ones, but I am very particular, and if there's one product that I want to create, it will be a spatula. That's how crazy I feel about cake. Okay, you need to get a good spatula. Yeah, this is for a cake order. It's going to frost these cupcakes, and it's going to fill, cover, and also frost the 6-inch cake we made yesterday. So after roughly 7 to 8 minutes of continuous creaming, we've got the consistency right. And at this point, you want to add half of the quantity of sugar you have here. The sugar I have is about 1 kilo, so I'm going to sort of guess about 500 kg in here. It's neither here nor there. Just add enough, but as soon as the sugar goes in, just remember to slow your mixer down. Slow it down, because otherwise you will get a lump of sugar in your face, okay? And have you tried cleaning sugar? I see sugar in your kitchen. Okay, I have, and it was not a good experience, okay? There you go, slow. And then into that, we will add some salt. About 10 grams, because the sugar is only about 250 grams more than the butter. But you just want some salt so that it can cut through. Okay, now that is, the sugar is mixed in. I'm going to just raise it back to 4 a little bit to cream before I add the rest of the sugar. Okay, there you go. Now we're going to raise that up, and we're going to get the rest of the sugar in there. Okay. Okay, let's go do this. Okay. Okay, now all the sugar has gone in. There's tension in the bowl. You want to give it time to cream up. So let's, and I'm going to add the rest of my butter. When you've added all the sugar, you can see that the consistency still looks yellow, but not as yellow as the butter when you put it in. The salt has helped to cancel out the taste a little bit. It just occurred to me that the last cupcake I've just given away, which is the eggless, had the same buttercream, the buttercream we made on the live the last time. So I would have shown you what it looks like still, but I've given the cupcake away now, so too late. We want to make sure we scrape everything in. probably time to add in some vanilla. Okay, I'm gonna stop that and get the entire bowl scraped through, just so that it can help my goals. Look at that. I love the consistency of that. But we want to get the entire bowl scraped together so that we don't have lumps of butter. Not that we do, but you can't be too cautious about this. Okay. Okay. I just want to clean the mixer head a little bit. Okay. You give it another 5 minutes and then it comes all together, and then give it another 2 to 3 minutes of slow creaming, and that's your buttercream literally done. You've seen me do this time and again over here, right? And then I am going to add 1 second. I'll let that go a bit. We'll let that go a bit before we add the cream. Yes, Dawn, let me finish this. I see you have a few questions in here for me. I'll answer them in a moment. Just bear with me. Yeah? Time to add the cream. I've just sat the cream in a bit of water, warm water, to kind of bring it to room temperature a bit. Let's have a taste of the cream before. Yep, still fresh. Once the cream goes in, you can't whip it for longer anymore. There you go. 100 mils of cream in here, and remember, once the cream goes in, you want to be mindful, because cream breaks easily, but then cream kind of brings a richer, nice mouthfeel to your buttercream over here. So let's have a taste. I won't do anything to it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Gradually, somehow I am converted. I will let's be clear, I will never convert to the use of full-time American buttercream. No. But gradually, I am kind of enjoying the use of it, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, that's our buttercream done. Let's have a look. Okay, here. If you're going to obviously use it for piping, biggest recommendation, just make sure you slow your mixer down, let it kind of go for another 5 minutes on slow, just so that it can even out any air pockets. So why do I feel like I will have to come back and make another batch? There you go. Look. And on the channel I have already made how to change it into a white color and all of that, so you can check that out. But yeah, American buttercream all done. Let's leave it to the side, and then I will answer your question. So we were talking about customer feedback earlier. Well, the truth is, when you start, you rely on customer feedback because it is your sort of integrity, if you like. It builds integrity and confidence, because the more customers come and give you feedback, and sometimes you're tempted to kind of go after it. So there's no problem about chasing customers for feedback. It's all in context. I remember 10 years ago, even as a hobby baker, when I gave cakes to friends and family, I would text them endlessly. And that's when I knew that people probably, and for good reason, are not as passionate as you and I are about the subject of cake. They want a cake, they've eaten it, they're gone, okay? Sometimes when you even text them, you don't hear from them. And this is from people I know, people who are in my close circle of associates or acquaintances, and even friends. They eat the cupcake, they're gone, because then it becomes novelty to them. They don't even remember to say, they will say the odd thank you here. None of the people around me, or a loved one or two, have I given a cupcake to and they like throwing their nose up at me. It's never happened, and I am so grateful for that experience. However, chasing them for feedback, they really would not understand the value of that to you, okay? But the few who did have always maintained that way. Even now, there are still people close to me that I will give a cake to, and this is after years and years of eating my cakes, and still they will be down on the phone raving crazy about how amazing the cake is. Does it do something for me? Yes, it gives me validation, okay? And it also goes a long way to support how I feel about the product. In the bigger sense, after, let's say, a good 10 years of consistently doing the same thing and having consistent feedback, at some point you peak, your confidence is here. I have said here, I will be first to tell you, I never ever take my customer interaction and experience for granted. So I leave room for you to make the decision. So there's never a moment that even in my 10-year experience and beyond, I will ever come to, oh, this is amazing. I will always have to count on the customer feedback, because that is where growth is. The uncertainty and the not knowing challenges you to stay humble, to maintain some sort of perspective, and to continue to grow. So is feedback a good thing? Great. But when you've done it so long and you wake up in the morning and you have to worry about optimizing your cupcake, and you are aimed at giving different kinds of value, the odd customer who doesn't come back to you, you don't lose sleep over it. But even 10 years later, there is still a cake or two that I have made and I've chased the feedback. Am I chasing the feedback for the true intent of the feedback? Not necessarily, but it's because I'm looking to satisfy a certain angst that I feel in my heart. Maybe I made the cake, but I'm not overly sure. Okay, because after 10 years of doing this, you are not always sure about the cupcake you make. I can tell you that. You are not always sure about all the cakes you make. There is that one cake that you make and you're struggling at the creative table, and something hasn't worked out and you can't seem to put a thumb on. So chasing the feedback kind of like almost settles that the uncertainty in your heart. And I've had those moments. There is one cake, and I've told you before, there are some cakes that I have not brought up to the channel, and that's because I never had the time to. And there's this one cake, especially this happens when I have a customer who has been with me and has come and gone and is back again. That kind of raises the bar a little bit, right? I had a customer who traveled from out of town. They came all the way from Somerset. They have family within the region I live, and they ordered the cake, a 2-tier wedding cake, and this person was a registrar in for marriages, right? So sometimes the caliber of person ordering the cake kind of just puts you on edge a little bit. I would say this person was like one of the nicest. I've been blessed with amazing customers, I'll say that, but some of them just stand out as really, really nice people. And this customer was amazing, right? So I made her a 2-tier wedding cake. It was a summer's day. I was sweating. The car, people, you will never know. I had to drive down a country road. I lost my way. The cake was on my lap. Like, it was hell on earth, okay? It is one of those days on the summer calendar where I remember to be a good Christian, just so that I can go to heaven, because hell is hot. Okay? Hell is hot. Okay? Anyway, oh God. I went and I set the cake up, and this cake came with cupcakes. I went and I set this cake and cupcakes up for this customer, and guess what? Give it a week after, they came back with the most amazing feedback, and it came by email. It's different when the customer sorts of texts you a short while and say, oh, the cupcakes were lovely. And much of the time, if you have to chase the feedback, that's what they say, oh, it was lovely. No, this is the kind of feedback where you know they sat down and they thought about you and their experience, and they gave me such an amazing feedback. Fast forward, and this is going back 2021. Is it 2021? Yep. Fast forward 4 years later, they came back, and this time, this time they were ordering the cake for their dad, a 90th birthday. Their dad is an author. He authored a particular book. No, he was a contributor to a particular book that has some history, and dad has very peculiar interest. It's Roman, like something where visually I couldn't conceptualize the design, because the design theme was very specific. The Roman theme, like, who makes a Roman themed cake? Do you? If you make Roman themed cakes, you tell me. Okay, so I had to sit and think about this, and ultimately when I made the cake, I wasn't very confident about the theme. Okay, I did my best, and my best is still not like subpar, let's be clear, but it was just a thing where I couldn't settle on it. The cake was delivered. And when a 90-year-old tells you my favorite cake is what? A lemon drizzle, you know pressure is on. Because lemon drizzle, to get that right, to make sure that the flavor is not too tangy, or it's not less in terms of the tartness, and just to get it right with homemade curd. If you're 90 and you love that cake, you have eaten a few many cakes and some good ones too. So to tell me to make them a lemon drizzle cake and a red velvet and a Roman theme, I just wanted to roll over on my sofa and go to sleep and forget it, because the cake was really stressful to make in terms of the theme. So I eventually delivered this cake to a local pub that they wanted the cake delivered to. That also has a whole different story. So when I delivered the cake, and the lady again was lovely. She gave me hugs. We recalled her wedding cake. She still remembers that experience. So this time pressure is on. In my mind, I'm like, oh, is it going to meet the same standard? And guess what? I delivered the cake on a Saturday morning. Monday morning, when they were leaving my town to Somerset, where they came from, she sent me a lengthy email. My goodness, my knees buckled, because the feedback was that amazing. Like, she was like, a part of it I remember very succinctly. She was like, what actually warmed her heart was that after they had all the celebration, this was a big celebration for the 90th, on the Sunday morning, because what had happened was I created the book that Dad had contributed to, the history book. I created this. I went and sought the book out online, and then I found the title of the book, and I recreated the entire book as a topper. But what I did with the topper was that I had the page that Dad had contributed to. I rolled that page up. I printed it in sugar, in wafer paper, and added it as a topper to the book. But they never told me what the book was. They just told me that Dad had contributed to a history book. But I went out of my way to find Dad's name, because she also didn't want Dad's name on the cake and the birthday. She just felt like the 90 was just going to be jarring. So because I knew Dad's name when I spoke to her, I had to go and find out what book he had contributed to that was Roman, and I found it. So they weren't expecting the book to be made into a topper. And so because I made the book into a topper and I found the page of his contribution and added it, and also created the Roman theme by bringing the Roman ruins in edible form. Like, it was a cake that stressed me, but I thought I had done my best, even though I wasn't sure about it. And guess what? Her feedback kind of said, the morning after the celebration, Dad woke up with his book and he wouldn't let anyone touch it. And actually, she's just wondering, how can they preserve the book for him? Now, that was the feedback that made me cry, right? So I say all of that to say, feedbacks are important, but at some point, they are not the standard for which you run your business by. That's all. Moving on from that, Dawn was asking if the vanilla sponge cake is the same as my cupcake recipe. The simple answer is yes, but with a few tweaks around it. The sponge cake, if I'm making it into a layer cake, requires self-raising flour for the entire quantity of flour. If I'm making it into a cupcake, only 120 grams is self-raising flour. The rest is plain flour. So that's the distinction. The quantity of flour in both cupcake and layer cake is 430 to 450. It's adjustable. But if you want to make a layer cake version of that, you use the entire quantity as self-raising flour. But if you want to use the same quantity for cupcake, you use only 120 grams of self-raising, and the rest is plain flour. That's the answer. So I hope that answers the question. I wonder if there are other questions for me to kind of answer. And most importantly, hopefully our camera doesn't die today like it did yesterday, because that was like wild when it died on us yesterday. Let me see. Joseph, that was an amazing thing to do for someone. You know what? We love what we do. We do. Okay? We love what we do. So yeah, that was, I still remember that cake. I will find it and I'll see if I can post some stuff up on it. Like, it was, yeah, that was a good cake. So anyway, our cupcakes are done. Our buttercream is done. Let's move on to our layer cake and try and level it. This was the 6-inch cake we made yesterday. 1 second. Dawn, we try our best. I mean, you would know, wouldn't you? Like, when you love cake. But anyway, we have our 6-inch cake here, the one we baked yesterday, and I am going to try and level this cake so we can fill it with buttercream. I'll leave it to set, and then we can kind of cover it too. Okay? Now, look, when I baked it yesterday, I just left it to, wrapped it up and left it. And so this is what we have. Because it's baked level, look at how, oh, it is so tender. It's falling apart. Okay, there we are. Right? And then that too. So because it's level, I'm not going to do much to it. I'm going to just get a leveler, and the leveler is already positioned against it. So what I'm going to do is level that. There you go. Look at how moist the crumb still looks. Can you see? If you want to see how I made this cake and everything that has to do with it, we have the video already on the live. I love this cake. Look at the crumb. Right? There you go. And then we are going to go and cut this one too. Over. And again, we have a very soft crumb. I'm not doing much to it. Let's see. Right. Dawn is asking if the corporate cupcakes were filled. Yeah, they were filled with jam in the middle. Oh boy, I didn't tell you some of the crazy moments of that cupcake. Look, because I've been so tired, I haven't even caught up with you. Look, I was so tired that I frosted 48 of those cupcakes, boxed them in them individual boxes, only to find out that I hadn't put the jam in the middle. I was so mad. I think I was recording parts of it, and there's a moment where I found myself literally swearing and banging on the table just because I was that angry. And it was 11 p.m. and I was tired. And all I could think about was taking all the boxes back out. And these are like those individual fiddly. There's a reason why I said I was tired, people. There's a reason. If I ever told you the drama of being a baker. Oh dear, you said I cried. Hey. Ha! Even thinking about it, can you see a tear in my eye? Thinking about it is that like touchy for me. Dawn, when I said I was tired. Whew. Okay, that's just by the way. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay. Here is some buttercream I have. I'm gonna go get. Dawn, you have no idea how that assurance came for me. Like, when you said you go rest up and look after yourself, I'm like, well, that's somebody who knows what it feels like to make cakes and be tired. But you know what? I still have these ones to go out, so there is no rest for the baker, right? So our layers of cakes are brought out, and simply I am going to turn one inside out. What I'm doing is that I'm boiling some warm water so that it will help me spread the buttercream easily. Because if you don't get the buttercream to spread easily, you will end up moving the cake around. And I really don't want that drama. So we need a spatula, a jar, okay, my patience cannot. Okay, the water will be boiling behind us. And if you're a beginner, a good tip here is to get yourself a scoop. That will help you get the right amount of buttercream. So I'm going to start with 2 scoops here, and then I'm going to spread that across. No more, because the cake is really light, fluffy and tender. So I'm going to add another one here. Oh, glad. Another scoop. Scoop 2. Right, again, dip your spatula in warm water. There you are. And then you add your next layer. And then you have okay. And so that would be see, if you don't put your scoop in warm water, what you are having is the excess buttercream will drag on top, which makes it hard. There you go. And so just to get a flat edge, I have just inverted the cake, and this is what we have. And with that done, no, it's because I know this is a jar, as in a jam jar. Okay, next we are going to get rid of the hanging buttercream. That's not good for your cake. So I am using, again, a warm spatula, because what you don't want to do is drag cake scraps around. You just want your buttercream to settle nicely on your cake. And look at that, just like that, we have a nicely layered 4-layered cake. What am I looking for? I like how nice the sponge is though, because then I don't have to worry about trimming, because when the sponge is brown, like, it hurts my head. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. So there you go. There you go. If you're a beginner, this should be amazing, isn't it? Like, What is the hardest for you if you're a beginner watching? What is the hardest to put a cake like this together? You would think this is so easy, and look, there you go. Okay, now you want to put this in a fridge to set. A good tip here is to wrap this in cling film, just so that if you're going to leave it in the fridge for longer, it will set and not dry out your sponge. But of course, I am not leaving this in the fridge for no longer than maybe an hour, from after which I will be back to kind of crumb coat the cake. So let's go put it in the fridge, and then we'll come and we'll catch up. There you go. The fear of not wanting to put water in my glass jar is because my glass cupcake, my glass teacup, it's because my teacup is precious. Them jam jars aren't precious like that. So part of my fear was also set in the fact that the whole thing was precious for me, and I guess you understand that, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, all right. Now I'm just thinking, should I frost these cupcakes, because I have got to make some black and white toppers on it. And I wonder if I can go ahead and make this buttercream sort of black. That's just me thinking out loud now, like contemplating out loud. Okay, so we've made the buttercream. We've layered our cake now. You know what? I just came to kind of catch up with you and see you. Let me go tidy up. If you have time, it's Saturday, 6:30. If I have time to come back and cover the cake, I'll see you. Is it Saturday? No, it's Friday. It's Friday. No, I don't like black fruit coloring at all. I just want to make a little bit, because yeah, black stains, but I just need a little bit for the cupcake decoration, and that's because of the customer request. I don't like them. I don't do them. I hate them because it's a black. Why? But these cupcakes really require them, so I just need a small portion to add them as highlighted decorative detail, and it might probably be a good chance to also show how to make black cupcakes. So as in mixed up with squid ink. Yeah, I have edible pro gel black, so we'll see. You'll see. So it's Friday, 6:30. I've got to tidy up and get organized, so I am sure you'll see me again. But if you don't, I think there just may be, I don't want to overpromise it, there just may be a video headed your way on the weekend as a long form. I just don't want to over egg it, but worst case scenario, you'd have some clips from this video as well. Yes, Dolly is asking, have you tried black cocoa powder before? Yes, black cocoa powder is great, but because it's so strong and it pairs well, say if I was making a chocolate cake and I wanted chocolate buttercream but wanted to color my buttercream black, I would use black cocoa powder, because it kind of tastes like Oreos, if you like. But because I'm making a vanilla base, I don't have the black, and I don't think because I don't make black buttercream, I didn't price them as part of the thing. And plus, even though it's a customer cake, it's a customer I know closely. You know, so they wouldn't mind, and I don't mind either. But no, I don't like black, because there's no way you can get that deep black without affecting mouthfeel. And I've said before, anything that compromises mouthfeel and taste of the cake, I'm not doing it. I'm not. Okay, that's it. So let's go tidy up, and I'm sure I will be back sometime. And if I don't, I'll see you on the next one, which will be perhaps Tuesday, because the weekend is getting busy. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you soon.